Hi yogis! Today we're going to work on splits, which is Hanumanasana monkey pose in yoga. For splits, we'll need open hamstrings and also hip flexors, especially psoas. So we'll be working on those muscle groups today with a series of yoga poses. And now let's get started. And if you have two blocks, it's always nice to have a little support. If you don't have a blocks, it's okay to use same size water bottles. So keep them handy for practice. And we'll get started in standing forward fold. Come to the front of your mat. Feet are wider than the hips. And gently bend into your knees. Let your upper body hang heavy. You may grab the opposite elbows. This is a really great way to actually wake up the hamstrings before we do anything intense, deeper hamstring stretches. So start to sway side to side. You may go forward and backwards. Try to hinging from the hips rather than rounding the spine. Couple more breaths here. Then release your hands. Turn your toes in a little bit. Inhale, halfway flat back. Fingertips on your shins. Pull the chest forward to find the flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Couple more. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. You'll be able to feel the stretch through the hamstrings. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back again. Right foot stays there. Step your left foot back. Come to the runner's lunge. This is a good place to use the block. So as you bend your front knee, lower the left knee down and gaze up. Open up the heart. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Forward fold. Flex your foot. Inhale. Open, shine your heart. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bend your front knee. And then lower the left knee down. Crescent B. Let's keep our back toes tucked under. And then bring your both palms on your right knee. Press your knee away from you as you lift your chest. Make sure your hips are squared. Pull that right hip a little bit back, left hip forward. As you breathe, sink a little deeper into the hips towards the earth. And start to engage your left glute. That way you'll feel more stretch on your left hip flexors. Pull the belly in. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And then press the back toes into the floor. See how far you can go. And with your right hand, grab your left wrist. Exhale, bend to right. We're targeting to lengthen the psoas here. Keep your left butt squeezed. One more full breath in. And full breath out. Inhale, come back to center. Now, maybe you can have a right hand on your right knee. And then bend your left knee, grab your left foot. Pull that left heel towards your left glute. This is really intense quad stretch. Breathe into it. One more full breath in. And full breath out. Nice, release your back foot. And then grab the block. Straighten the right leg. Flex the right foot. Come to half split. Stack your hips over the left knee. Inhale, halfway flat back, lift your chest. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. And then find some stillness here. If you have space, you can put your fingertips on the floor. I'd like you to flatten your spine rather than rounding and putting the forehead to the shin. Think about reaching your sternum towards the front foot. Actively pull that right hip a little bit back. You can even pull the right toes towards the shin. One more full breath in and full breath out. Release. Rebend your right knee. Tuck your left toes under. You can use block and then lift your left knee. And then bump your left foot a little bit forward and to the left, pyramid pose. Hips are squared here. Make sure your hips not sinking one side. Inhale, halfway flat back, and exhale, fold. Same with the half split. Pull the right hip a little bit back, left hip forward. Keep your hips leveled. Pull the belly in. And then rather than rounding spine, try to find a flat back. That way you can focus on your hamstrings a little more. Left heel is rooted. Press into both heels. One more full breath in and a long breath out. Inhale, halfway flat back. Left foot steps up to the top of the mat and the right foot steps back. Use a block or just the fingertips on the floor. Again, bend and straight the left knee. As you bend, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, one more. And exhale. Rebend your left knee, right knee down. Keep your right toes tucked under. Both hands on the left knee. As you breathe, sink a little deeper, lower the hips down towards the mat. Again, make sure your hips are squared rather than open to one side. Draw the left hip back, right hip forward. Pull the belly in, pull your ribs in. Scissor the inner thighs towards each other. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then now grab the right wrist with your left hand. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, bend to left. Engage the right glute. Press the right toes into the floor. One more full breath in, lengthen. Exhale a little deeper. And inhale, come back to center. If you grabbed the back foot earlier, left hand on your left knee. Slowly bend your right knee, grab your right foot. And then pull that right heel towards your glute. And breathe into it. If this is challenging to balance, you can always use a block. One more full breath in. And full breath out. Release. Good. Now, straighten the left leg, half split. Flex your left foot. Make sure your hip is not sinking one side or the other. Inhale, halfway flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Use your back muscles. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, fold. And settle in. Again, draw the left hip slightly back. Pull the femur bone into the socket. You can use your hand to pull the toes towards your shins. Keep your spine flat and lengthened. One more breath. Good. And rebend your left knee. Tuck your right toes under. Lift your right knee. And then bump the right foot a little bit forward and to the left. The feet are going to be about 3 or 4 feet away, pyramid pose. Back foot is 45 degrees. Inhale, halfway flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Make sure your hip is level here. Avoid sinking into one hip. Press into the left heel. This is a really good place to use block. You don't have to bring your forehead all the way to your chin. Rather, I want you to keep your spine flat, hinging from the hips. That way, you can focus on the hamstrings. One more full breath in. And a full breath out. Good. And then both hands down. Let's just left foot steps back. Find a downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Bend the right knee and the left knee. Good. Inhale, right leg up to the sky. Square up the hips here. Flex your right foot. Exhale, knee to nose, shift forward, and step it through. Lizard. Bring your both hands inside of your right foot. And hug the right knee in towards the midline. You have an option to lower the back knee down, but with knee lifted up, that will be more intense. You may rock forward and back a couple times. Perhaps you can come down on your forearm on the block. If you have more space, forearm on the floor. And then relax your head. Engage the left glute. One more full breath in. And a full breath out. Let's switch the sides. Come high up on your palms. Step your right foot back. Back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Square up the hips. Flex the left toes. Toes pointing down towards the mat. Exhale, knee to nose. Shift forward and step it through. Bring the left hand inside of your left foot. And again, rock forward and back a couple times if that feels good. And find some stillness eventually. Wherever you are, Breathe into that tight area. And then pull the left hip back. One more full breath in and long breath out. Good. Come back on your palms and the left foot steps back. Downward facing dog. So now we'll be working on the full split. From your down dog, inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it through. Right foot forward, runner's lunge. Lower the left knee down. And then come to half split. Straighten the right leg, flex the right foot. So make your way into full split from here. As you slide your front foot forward, lower the hips down. It's nice to use a little support with the block. Keep your left toes tucked under. That helps you square the hips. As you breathe, you can get a little lower. Notice that stretch on your left hip flexors and the right hamstrings. If you're somewhere like this, your hips are all the way down, but your hips are open, I want you to square the hips forward. Even if your hips are off the floor, you can use a block under that right thigh or right hip. And then try to keep your spine upright here. That way you can really work on these muscles. Right hip back, left hip forward. As you're ready, you can come all the way down. It's going to take time. So give yourself some time. One trick I like to use to square my hips, sometimes I add some twist. So when my right leg is front, I like to twist to the right side. Turn the torso towards the right. Keep the chest lifted. One more breath. And exhale. Come back to center. Rebend your left knee. And then bring the right leg back. Good. Let's come to the left side. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Runner's lunge. Lower the back knee down. Straighten the left leg. Come to half split. Ardha Hanuman. And then make your way into full split. Slide your front foot a little bit at a time. Keep your right toes tucked under. If you're somewhere here, use the block to support your front leg. And work on here. You can even use your hands to square the hips forward if your hips looking like that. Chest forward, hips forward, shoulders forward. Eventually, all the way down. Use the block to stick the shoulders over the hips. Left hip back, right hip forward. Like I did to add twist, left leg is forward, then turn your body to the left. You may reach towards your back leg and lift through the sternum. Pull the belly in. One more full breath in and full breath out. And then slowly tuck your back toes under, bend the back knee, bring the front leg back. Let's rest in child pose for a moment. Big toes together, knees wide, forehead down on the mat. Take a full breath in and gentle sigh out. And slowly come to the seated position. So these are some of my favorite yoga poses for split: runner's lunge, half split, pyramid, and a lizard. So anytime you have extra time, you can work on these poses, work on those hamstrings and hip flexors. It's not going to happen overnight, but keep your work, keep the stretching consistently, then you'll get it before you know it. Thank you so much for joining today. It was Jamie, and namaste.